there's a vulnerability in saying, this happened and now I feel. My daughter didn't call me back after I texted 3 times. I'm just making this up. This didn't actually happen. I texted my daughter 3 times and she did not call me back. And now I feel. So many of us as alienated parents will take that first part, my daughter didn't call me back, or son, apply it to you, and then we'll create a story around what that means. And we'll make that story fact. My daughter didn't call me back. And silently we'll say, they hate me, right? And that will be the story. Not my daughter didn't call me back and I texted 3 times or whatever you said before. We'll make our summary of the facts, the story moving forward. And here's what's crazy is that story, all the little stories combined, end up making up our mindset and our identity. And so if I have little summaries to all of these different events that happen in my life, and those summaries equal, okay, my daughter doesn't love me. I failed. I'm a failure. The other day I was talking to somebody and he was talking about his kids. They only give 1-word answers. They only say yes, no. They don't elaborate on anything or offer up any extra information to elongate the conversation. They just keep it very short and uninteresting, I guess. I forget actually what his response was, but many parents would take that as the other parent is brainwashing my kid and there's nothing I can do. My kid is disinterested in me. There's nothing I can do. Something like that. We cut off our options. We make it very limiting. And so we take that and make that part of our capabilities moving forward. My ex is brainwashing and there's nothing I can do. I'm powerless. And that becomes part of our identity. And then we gather some more information and summarize the next experience. And that becomes part of our identity. And the more that because whatever we believe, we want to find evidence to support that, right? Even the stuff that's harming us. So if we think that we're powerless and we have no options, we'll keep looking either in our past or in today to reaffirm that we're powerless and we have no options. It's at our detriment, but we don't even realize that we're doing it because it's all of these thought distortions and biases. Back in the day when I was in that place, feeling completely victimized and like shackled to the story, to my alienation, to identifying as this alienated mom, how could I be anything else? I wish I would have known back then that the stories that I was telling myself were only optional. There were other ways for me to think back then, and I wasn't recognizing that. I was doing what I was just talking about a second ago, where I really believed that I was without options. So that's the evidence that I kept creating for myself. I would have gone down like in an argument with somebody, arguing for them to believe me and get on my team that I had no options and there was no way around it. But that was literally me limiting myself backed into a corner until finally that story was so painful that I had to move from there. And so that's really the beginning of anything, no matter what problem you have today, no matter how bad you think it is. Don't die on the hill of wanting to convince yourself and the world that you are that. You are never so fucked that you have no options, ever. Ever. In fact, choosing to believe that is an option in itself. Just knowing that you have a choice in how you believe and how you think about everything is so helpful and empowering in the long run.